Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Galley La Podcast. I'm your host, Geboss, and as always, joining me is Akainu Fanboy.
Yo.
And today we're going to be discussing Jujutsu Kaisen Chapters 217 through 222. And please like and subscribe if you like the content. Let us know what you thought of these chapters. And yeah, let's just get right into it. Because last time when we left off, Sukuna was in possession of Fushiguro's body, and now he's going to go fight Yorozu, who is in possession of Fushiguro's sister. And we get to see how that fight plays out. So what did you think of this fight between them?
That was kind of underwhelming. I mean, like, I'm not saying it was a bad fight, but it was just kind of like pretty straightforward, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, this is kind of what you've been building up to with Fushiguro's sister this whole time. And,
yeah, the fight just happened, and that's it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see her ability, because she has the same ability as Mai, basically, where she can construct things, but hers is just infinitely better. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, some characterization from Sukuna, and I mean, like, it's cool to see him in the past and see them all in the past and everything like that, but it's just like, I don't know. I guess she kind of brought out, we got to see a little bit of a different side of Sukuna and everything like that, and I thought that was kind of interesting. But I guess in a way it takes away, I don't know, it kind of takes away, I'd say, the drama and the tension that comes with Fushiguro's sister dying, in a way. You know, because, like,
yeah,
let's just say if it's like Sukuna hunting her down, she's in possession of her own body and she's trying to get away and everyone's trying to save her and she dies. I think that's like a lot more dramatic than a cursed spirit taking her over, and then a cursed spirit dies while holding her body, in a way, you know?
Yeah.
Because I guess, like, all it really demonstrates is, like, cursed spirits are evil, Sukuna's evil, but we've already seen that over and over again, you know? But so I kind of feel like we lose Fushiguro's live stream reaction of his sister dying, and then the emotion of her dying too, you know? So and that way I didn't really like it that much, I guess, looking at it from that angle, you know?
Yeah, because all we really get is I do like the image of, like, Fushiguro bathed in, like, this darkness in the shadows, like, crying. But yeah, we didn't even get, like, that dramatic of a death from Yorozu. She just kind of gets slashed by Maharaga in her, like, she opens her domain for like a second and she gets cut down. But yeah, I agree with you that it was kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, because, like, Fushiguro's not like, no, you know, like, interiorly or whatever, you know, like, showing any form of emotion. And obviously he's cognizant of it, or Sukuna wouldn't do it to begin with. Yeah. You know, so
I think
right.
Yeah, I think this is the point where so the Jujutsu Kaisen fandom is kind of special, but this is the point where they started calling Fushiguro a bum. I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Between that and trying to summon Maharaga at any chance, yeah, they've been kind of clowning on him.
Yeah, I don't think it's like criticism on his character. I think a Gege, it's like, you know, more of like a Gege issue. It's just like, why, you know, show that emotional tension there. I mean, I think we got more emotional tension with, like, just the opening of, like, Jujutsu Kaisen Film 0 with Yuta and Rika, and then also with Itadori and, oh my gosh, and then you could clown on me for not remembering his name because I'm talking about tension and memorability.
Junpei?
Yeah, Junpei, yeah, there you go. Yeah. So I felt like more stakes. I was like, oh shit, they just killed him off. I thought it was gonna be, you know, like, you get like an emotional connection there, right? And here it's just like, there's no emotion, period. You just get like one panel of Fushiguro like laying down, you know?
Yeah. And I think it's because we didn't really get to know Sumiki, his sister, in like a personal way, because she was in a coma since the beginning of the series, and maybe we got like a couple of flashbacks. And I mean, I guess it is kind of tragic, because like the whole reason that Fushiguro wanted to be a part of the culling game was to save his sister. But I mean, even from the beginning of the culling game, she was already possessed, so it was all for naught in that way. So I can see the tragedy in that, but it's like saying, oh, like we don't even get to see her personality really. We just know that she was like a nice person.
Yeah, like I said, you got to know more of Rika's character in the first couple minutes of that movie than Fushiguro's sister, who we've had an idea of since the beginning too.
Yeah,
you know, so there's plenty of ample time to do that. Like just maybe a really good flashback here and there to like we know how powerful flashbacks can be in manga, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I mean, even in JJK, like I said, the flashback with Yuta, it hit the point hard, and then it was freaking tragic and horrific. You know what happened to him at a young age, you know. And you don't think you could like do something here, you know? And so
yeah,
you know, and I'm not even like a Fushiguro stan, but like I like his character, but it's just like we put so much plot emphasis on his sister, and then this is it.
Yeah,
you know, and just really underwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah, even like the whole like she coated like herself in the bug armor and everything, which kind of came out of nowhere. And then I did like seeing Maharaga again, because if you do think about it, like the whole point of him was like, oh, no one could tame him unless they defeated him, and no one was able to. Whereas Sukuna did technically beat him in Shibuya. So him being in possession of that and controlling him makes sense.
Yeah, and like I said, like I think those are cool aspects. I'm just saying this should have been a Fushiguro moment, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And we do get the whole thing with her final moments being like handing over this object that we don't know what it is to Sukuna.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
we don't even get like a final like confirmation of her death really. We just kind of see Fushiguro crying.
That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you. It's kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, like I said, she's not a minor character.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, like in a sense, yeah, in terms of screen time, but just in terms of like who she is supposed to be, it's like,
yeah. You know what I think would have been cool though, because they're in the colony where Yuta fought, and we saw Uro was still alive, the sorcerer who could control the skies. Like we saw her, and like why, like they specifically linked those two together. Like Yorozu took out Uro's squad, and I think it would have been cool if like she got involved in this somehow. But I think that was kind of a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it kind of came across to me. This whole thing's like, Ace dies by Akainu. You see Luffy cry in one panel, and that's it. You know, sorry, maybe bad comparison. Just saying, but
yeah, I mean, we had more emotional deaths with like with Junpei, Nobara, Nanami. Like we've seen effective deaths in Jujutsu Kaisen, and this one didn't really hit.
Mai.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was a miss, but anyways, what do you think on let's talk about the next section.
Yeah, because this next couple chapters were game changing for the series. But but yeah, we get to see Kenjaku going to recover the mummified remains of Sukuna, which is interesting, because I think like what they're trying to evoke here in the imagery like is like a Buddhist monk that I'm the closest thing that I have to this is like in Sekiro, the game, where they like the monks meditated so much that they're like basically immortal. But yeah, what do you think of this part with like the rules and everything?
Escalating quickly. It's putting the ball more in Kenjaku's court. That he's, because the good guys were getting a lot of good W's, and now it just seems the power's back in his control and everything like that. But at the same time, it's unified those who remain in the fight. With all the fellow students. And I think it was interesting when we see that line saying you're not alone. You've left a lot of monsters with you. And it shows the shot of all the students. And I think it's kind of like,
oh yeah, with Yeri,
yeah, because like Kenjaku's the one who's truly alone. Like just like in terms of this mummified corpse, you could say that little ice kid or whatever is one, but I mean like but at the same time, like the whole point with Yorozu and that fight, like one cool aspect was just like she did emphasize the solitude of Sukuna, right, and everything.
Yeah, she was trying to show him what love was.
Yeah, Gojo's like, I'm a cool badass. I'm by myself. I can do everything by myself, and which he kind of did, and then it blew up in his face in Shibuya. But at the same time, here, like this is trying to emphasize, like even though you're trying to act that way, when you realize like the most important thing about you isn't necessarily your power; it's like the legacy you're leaving behind. So you're not alone. While so you have someone that's comparable in power to Sukuna. But Sukuna is actually truly alone. Gojo isn't truly alone, And I think that's why the good in this series outweighs the bad is because of Gojo's teaching abilities, connections, with all of his lineage of students,
Yeah. Yeah, I like that too. And we get to see everyone, like you said, united. And what do you think of Itadori talking with Choso about his thing with his brothers and Yuki's research, because that's kind of it seems like they're setting up a lot of stuff for the future.
Yeah, I think it sets up a good thing with her sacrifice against Kenjaku, and I guess he's starting to develop more of an identity independent of Sukuna too, right? Which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like with his heritage and all the rest, and Sukuna and Kenjaku, so I do like that element. He's not like throwing that away, which is cool. Like he's still kind of relevant to the story, still has significance, even though he's not Sukuna's vessel currently right now and all the rest, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. But I also think it kind of emphasizes like Yuji's like not his pigheadedness, but his willingness to do anything. Because he said like I'll eat anything to kill Sukuna. And that how he's like, because he's been with Sukuna for as long as he has, he's become he's like a cursed object now. So I wonder if that's setting him up to like be seen as like a tool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did like how the angel, like you couldn't fully heal her arm and everything. And the random guy from Yuji's past came to save her, along with the comedian guy, Takaba.
Hollywood.
Yeah. But yeah, so just going on a little bit, did you expect Gojo to come back the way he did? or
it was
or this
quicker
soon?
Than I thought it would be. Yeah, it was a lot quicker than I thought it would be.
Yeah. It was cool. I mean, I did like the part where Kenjaku was like, oh yeah, I buried like the actual prison realm where he would emerge in like the Marianas Trench bit, or like a deep trench underwater guarded by cursed spirits, but you still like managed to get here instantly.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, did he put a special grade? Wait, what was it? I thought he maybe. No, maybe I got that wrong. Never mind. But yeah, so I thought that was funny, and he's just like, it kind of feels like Gojo carries this series sometimes, you know? Like,
Yeah.
how great of a character he is, you know, because it just puts the hype levels through the roof. You know, there's a lot of characters I love in this series, but he's just like so incredible. He just steals the show, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And to see him go against Kenjaku, Sukuna at once, I think it's just pretty awesome, you know?
Yeah. Because he like Urume says something and he immediately takes him out in one shot. And he's like completely like laughing it off in their faces and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, he good old Gojo.
Yeah. He's still the same. Although I would be interested to see if because when they talk about it, they say time passes differently in the prison realm. I wonder how long it actually was for him.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because
it shows his mental fortitude that he's able to be his old self.
Yeah, I mean he could be like completely unhinged, but yeah. But yeah, so they set the date for Sukuna versus Gojo for a month later in December, which I did like the connection there, where he said, "Oh, I don't want to have two different anniversaries of your death," because it was last year at that time that Yuta killed Geto on the 24th.
And I did like when, so it's just interesting with the time thing, because when he gets imprisoned, he comes back out, and he said, "I came all this way to give Suru's body a proper burial," and I think that's like, it's cool because it shows his love and concern for his best friend. And then, so like that's a cool thing that's his first impulse and things like that too, you know. So, but he doesn't really like seem like frantic or scared at all. Like, imagine you break out and then you're next to like probably one of the two strongest people in the verse.
Yeah.
And you're just like laughing, you know? It's like, I don't know, it's just kind of a crazy thought there, you know? So, and even with just like kind of the emotional trauma, you're talking to your friend's corpse, basically, with that too. And you're just kind of dealing with it. So, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I liked 222, the chapter, just because it's setting up a lot of things, like between the where Sukuna's final finger is, like what happened with all the culling game players who didn't participate, and oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. Ino talking about something to say about Nanami.
Yeah,
we see.
Good to see you, Mark.
Yeah, missing an eye. Like last time we saw him was the beating from Toji, so he's lucky that was the only thing he lost.
Yeah. For sure.
But yeah, I thought it was interesting though that we didn't mention it before, that King Jaku added the rule that the culling game wouldn't end until everyone was killed, except for Fushiguro and Geto. So I guess he's identifying them by their bodies. But yeah, it's interesting because, I mean, I guess for me, it's like, okay, even if they do beat Sukuna and Kenjaku, they still are stuck in the culling game, right?
Yeah.
Until everyone is dead. So I don't know how necessarily that would be resolved.
Couldn't they add another rule, or am I missing something here?
I mean, they would have to get points, and the only way to get points is by killing people.
I guess killing those two wouldn't be enough.
Yeah, because you don't get the points of the people you kill. They have to transfer them over. But yeah, it's interesting. But
Yeah,
I
it's
go ahead.
no. It was just kind of interesting to just his last chapter to see how they're giving all the fingers to Kenjaku this quickly too. It's like it's not Kenjaku. Suguna.
Yeah.
You know, it's like what? You know, like this crazy, this early on, you know? And so for me, I was just like, that's pretty wild, you know? Because it always makes you think back where that Gojo line, you know, like it'd be a little tough. You know.
But yeah, Sukuna seems to think that Gojo has the last finger. But it seems like he's trying to compensate it by eating his own mummy, which is interesting. But I get it's her character, but really Mei is like already trying to like bet on Sukuna versus Gojo. Like,
you've messed up enough already.
Yeah, you didn't even like. We didn't see like her confrontation with Kenjaku at all in Shibuya. No. She just went off screen. She doesn't. She didn't even like look injured.
Nope. Or was concerned about anybody else's well-being.
Yeah. But yeah, what did you think of the brief interaction with Yuji and Kusakabe there? Because
I thought that was cool. Yeah, I wasn't expecting the interaction. You know.
Yeah,
I liked it.
It's a weird thing though, because like Yuji is like talking to Kusakabe, like calling him Itadori.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah. I'm not sure what to make of it.
Yeah. So no theories or anything?
Maybe it's like some identity switching technique
that
Kusakabe has. I that's like JJK, anything's possible.
Yeah.
You know, like just kind of like a switcheroo and everything, to like help get the upper hand of Fujiguro and everything. So I don't know. Yeah, that's the only theory I got.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, it got people talking when this chapter first came out. But another part that got me thinking was it was cool. Oh my gosh, to see Yuta kind of talk. Inumaki and Yuta talking about where basically his whole plan, why he volunteered to be the executioner and everything, and he's still trying to defend Itadori, saying that was solely on Suguna, and everything like that. So I thought that was like just a cool thing to wrap up, and not just kind of leaving it off to the side, you know. And just to see those two interact is really nice too. Yeah, because Inumaki's been kind of like sidelined this whole arc.
Yeah, even though he's a powerhouse.
Yeah. Maybe Gege was like, shoot, I made him theoretically too powerful. Because he didn't do much in Shibuya either.
No, he didn't. No. There's a lot of situations he could have like really made a difference in a battle for sure.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Speaking of theoretically too powerful, it's interesting that Kenjaku's talking about if Satoru loses. There's the other Jujutsu high schools, in particular the heavy hitters led by Yuta, right?
Yeah.
So I thought it was funny how he identifies him. It's like,
I mean, he was the one who killed Geto, so.
Yeah. But it's just kind of funny, you know, like you have all these heavy hitters and Yuta, you know. So I just kind of thought that was a little interesting and direct time moment right there, you know. So I can see where some of the toxicity comes in the JJ community between all these guys, because I think it's like kind of with Oda, just like they egg on some of the rivalries. Yeah.
But yeah, we do get a time skip though, like right away to December 24th, which was an interesting choice.
We better have a filler arc in the anime, damn it. Training filler arc. Or not drop in this series.
A very well animated. filler arc.
Yes.
But yeah, I did think it was kind of weird that like we only saw like brief snippets of what was going on in that month.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I did like the ultimate like conclusion for this though, where everyone's kind of united and giving Gojo like pats on the back for good luck.
Yeah, that was cool.
And he's with Urahime and Principal Gakuganji, which is kind of sure, why not? Even though he killed the other principal.
Yeah, that's what I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. I mean, he was like acting on the orders of the higher ups, and like I think we talked about this before. Like he wasn't necessarily a bad guy, because like
yeah.
But Panda, he does kind of like have a curse based with the knowledge of Panda, you know. So
yeah.
Maybe there's something with that. But yeah, he just kind of showed up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then we get to see the whole crew kind of here with
So is the execution still on for Gojo and these two are just disobeying it?
I think so, yeah.
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 I mean, all the teachers basically, it seems.
Yeah, everyone's just kind of like, okay, Sukuna is the priority here.
I mean, he's the source of the problems, right? I mean, that's why that it led to Gojo getting executed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they could say, hey, we're going after Kenjaku, and we're going after Sukuna, you know? And like, Itadori is like not that big of a deal anymore because it's not him. So we don't have to execute him.
I mean, Yuta did technically kill him, so.
You killed him once, and there's no Sukuna left. Yuta's goated. He's the best in the series. You know, he's that good. You know, he got rid of Sukuna. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But but yeah, I mean, right away, Gojo returns, and then he's immediately going to go fight Sukuna, which is his decision.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Just really quick.
I've heard hype things about it. Not really anything specific, but so we'll wait to see what it's like. But I'll try to read as soon as we're done recording, so I don't get spoiled by any shenanigans. But yeah. So one thing I did find interesting was going with Kenjaku talking about Yuta and all them, the heavy hitters. It was interesting how he did emphasize how like Kenjaku is going to be weak. Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Sukuna is going to be weak, and so as a result, it could be like easier to take out after his fight with Gojo. Because like when you think of Sukuna, you don't really think of him getting weak, quote unquote. You know, he's just kind of like this infinite powerhouse in a way. So, but it was interesting how Kenjaku kind of brought up that detail.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. But yeah, Kenjaku's not weak by any stretch of the imagination, and like you said, Sukuna is really like he's pretty much built up as the strongest, sorcerer of the past. So, wonder how he's gonna measure up to Gojo, who's supposed to be the strongest sorcerer. So.
Yeah, I think like with Kenjaku at least, so Chozo could have told Gojo about all of his abilities that he saw too.
Yeah.
Right. So there's nothing hidden right now. So, which gives Gojo the upper hand, and I don't think Kenjaku necessarily knows all of Gojo's abilities. I mean, maybe he could have some weird thing where he gains all the memories of Geto to know most of them, but I think there's even some Geto never even learned because Gojo wasn't necessarily at his peak when Geto died, and nor did they even really interact in that movie too much either in terms of abilities since Yuta finished him off.
Yeah, I think though it was, I think it said somewhere that whenever Kenjaku possesses a body, he gains all the memories of the body. So I think he would know a lot of Gojo's abilities. Maybe not to the extent that he can use them currently, but yeah.
Yeah, because I assume there's some abilities he learned from when he left, because I don't think Geto would have learned all of his abilities or seen them all from him leaving Jujutsu High and going. Even in the movie, he didn't. Like I said, he didn't even find him, like all out or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's probably still more. I mean, even we haven't seen at this point too.
Yeah.
That he hasn't shown us.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to it. If you'd be interested.
Yeah, I mean, these group of chapters kind of started off pretty mid, but I think it wrapped up pretty nicely with Gojo's return.
Yes.
And the inevitable fight between Gojo and Sukuna.
For sure.
But yeah, those are my final thoughts.
Same, yeah. Looking forward to the fight, and we will let you guys know pretty soon.
Yeah. But yeah, once again, please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Let us know what you thought of the chapters, and no spoilers, please. And yeah, we will see you guys next time.
Peace.